GETTYDonald Trump attended the National Space Council meeting. Monday's press conference was originally organized to discuss the meeting of the National Space Council that was taking place at noon. The conference was to discuss new proposals for cleaning debris in Earth's orbit and improving satellite traffic management. However, President Trump led the conference in a different direction, speaking of America seeking dominance in space. When it comes to defending America, it is not enough to merely have an American presence in space. We must have American dominance in space, Trump said. We are going to have the Air Force and we are going to have the Space Force, separate but equal. It's going to be something. Donald Trump, I'm hereby directing the Department of Defense and Pentagon to immediately begin the process necessary to establish a Space Force as the sixth branch of the armed forces. That's a big statement. We are going to have the Air Force and we are going to have the Space Force, separate but equal. It's going to be something. Trump then assigned the task of running the force, saying, General Dunford, if you would carry that assignment out, I would be very greatly honored. He added, let's go get it, General. However, there was no mention of the Space Force in the space policy Trump signed on Monday. What is the Space Force? The name might evoke thoughts of sci-fi films and aliens, but speaking to an audience of Marines in San Diego, California in March, Trump said, space is a war-fighting domain just like the land, air, and sea. We may even have a Space Force. Develop another one, Space Force. We have the Air Force, we'll have the Space Force. We have the Army, the Navy. It would be the sixth armed force responsible for military space operations, which are currently within the remit of the Air Force, amongst other agencies. The president has spoken of the idea of having a Space Force several times, saying in March, I was saying it the other day, cause we are doing a tremendous amount of work in space. I said, maybe we need a new force. We'll call it the Space Force, and I was not really serious. And then I said, what a great idea. Maybe we'll have to do that. That could happen. That could be the big, breaking story. The Space Force would take any duties within space from the U.S. Air Force Space Command, a unit within the Air Force which supports the country's military space operations. The U.S. Air Force Space Command currently employs around 36,000 people in more than 130 areas around the world. GETTYDonald Space Force has originally been banned by the Pentagon. The concept of a Space Corps was the subject of contention last year, with the House of Representatives passing legislation in July to create a space branch of the military. This was, however, blocked by the Pentagon, Trump's Pentagon nonetheless. The proposal also was mentioned in the House Armed Services Annual Defense Bill, brought forward by Mike Rogers, a Republican, and Jim Cooper, a Democrat. The Senate's Annual Defense Bill banned the proposal, however, which was backed by the Pentagon. In order for Trump to create a new branch of the military, it would need to be approved by the Senate and the Pentagon. A new military branch has not been created in the U.S. since the Air Force was established more than 70 years ago.